because what I'm going to share with you today is literally my 21-year journey through wholesaling. And honestly, I think this is probably going to be one of the most valuable videos you can watch, because I'm going to break you down. If you're just watching a video with me live today, or you're watching any type of guru, I'm not a guru, and I'm going to tell you all the way to the top where I've gotten. And I'm going to show you all the stages I went through from $0 to making my first million and then way upon it. And what I'm going to do is break down the obstacles you have to break down. I'm going to show you the income levels and the problems you're going to reach at each one of them. And you know what? If somebody sat back and peeled this and showed this to me when you started, I at least would have had a strategy, and I probably could have prepared a little bit better for wholesaling. But if you guys are like me, you got ADHD, you just dive right into this thing, that's fine too. Don't overanalyze this. Remember, the purpose of this is to show you the stages from zero to your first $1 million and above. And honestly, when I sat and worked on this, I took a lot of time doing this. I sometimes just surprise myself, and I'm just like, oh my God, that phase hurt. And I've had flashbacks. So those of you who've been around for a long time, if you've ever had a history in a job or a career or anything else you've done, and you have those pivotal moments, that's what allows you to create charts like this. So the bottom line is you have to go through the journey. You have to have a good time doing it. And I love this business. So I want to share it with you. I'm going to get right into it because it's a lot of information. This is a safe place. I'm never going to ask you for money. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm just going to teach, and then we're going to talk and try to problem solve. I know it's refreshing that someone doesn't want to take money from you on the internet, but I'm here to build long-term relationships, and I don't let money get in the way of it. The reality is, if you like this content, if you feel it's going to help you grow as a wholesaler, get started, and you feel you can cut through the crap of all the gurus to tell you, then my goal is to teach you so you can go out and find deals, and we can partner up, and I will show you how to do that by the end of this video. So that's it, guys. Some of you who don't know me, my name is Rick Ginn. I'm the Rick and Flip with Rick. You don't have to take any notes, but if you're like me, you like to write stuff because it sticks a little bit better. I'm going to push the microphone away a little bit and make sure I don't spill my coffee today. And I don't know why I forgot orange. I don't wear orange often. I figured, heck, I'd give it a shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this on the screen, and I just felt it's a little bit more interactive instead of just putting up slides. It kind of gets boring like that. So remember, we try to make wholesaling fun, because the way most people teach it, it's really, really boring in my opinion. So that's it, guys. So use the comments on there. And guys, make sure if you are new to this channel that you are subscribed, and make sure, please, if you like this information, smash that like button. It helps more people like you get in touch with the content. Basically, what I've done is identified the phases of everything you're going to for wholesaling from 0 to $1 million. So 1, 2. So I believe, which one I'm going to break down for you? 1, 2. We're going to break down 6 different levels, or I might have done 5. I got to figure out which one I'm doing. So the first one is going to be the one right up here. It's the honeymooner stage. And honestly, a lot of you probably watching this, you're probably at this stage. You found wholesaling because you're probably sick of your job, you hate your boss, and you're sick of struggling with bills, and you need to find a way out. And you're looking for an opportunity where you don't have a lot of money, you can maximize your income, work from home, and truly get freedom of time. And I'm here to tell you, there is no better vehicle than wholesaling. Think about it. Instead of doing garage sales or flipping cars or doing like that, go find the biggest asset. What's the biggest asset out there? Their home. You can make a small spread and make a killing. Now, a lot of you think of $1 million like it's a ton of money. It's not. I'm here to tell you it's not, especially in today's dollars. So if you did an average of 15K a deal, which you won't start off doing, but eventually you'll do that in your sleep. You only need 67 deals done. 2 years. I tell everybody 2 years. It's easy, but it's not simple. So I want you to understand the first phase is the honeymooner phase. And I want to spell this one out for you. Ready? This one's always my favorite. So let me put in my blue ink here. So in the honeymooner phase, you're basically in love with wholesaling. You think it's the greatest thing in the world. It's amazing. I don't know why I didn't find this sooner. This is the greatest thing in the world. And then you're going to do like that Netflix thing, and you're going to start binge watching, right? And then all of a sudden you're going to see I go, man, there's like 50 people saying that it's just so easy. And there's this guy sitting in a lawn chair telling you can flip from the beach. I never have to leave. And there's Airbnbs, and you get so excited. I remember when I first found wholesaling before YouTube, I was just I was blown away with what you could do. And it was like a little secret when I first did it. And then you just kind of you're so ecstatic. And then you run into this guy, Rick Ginn, and you go, you know what? If he can do it, if he can, I can. And I know that's horrible English. And guys, trust me, I do not make money on English and spelling. I'm probably the worst guy to do it, but it's true. I'm no different than you. Here's the difference is I'm actually for real. This is what I do with my life. It's what I do for a living. And I'm not some influencer who's just trying to make money on the internet. And how do I authenticate that? I don't charge you guys. So you get excited. It's fun. And here's what you've got to understand at this phase. How much money are you making in the honeymooner phase? I can tell you straight up, as you guys know, zero, period. Zero. I love this phase. Everybody loves this phase. They're in love with wholesaling. It's going to set me free. I can quit my job. My husband's going to be so excited when I do this. And listen, you've all been there. Like, put it in the comments. Like, I was in but here's the problem. Some of you get stuck in the honeymoon phase. Like, you just keep watching and watching videos. This is not a Netflix show. And the problem is a lot of the videos online are purely for entertainment, because it is entertainment, because most of these people don't even do this stuff, or they did it at one point and now that they're the master coach and they're going to show you how to do it. The reason they quit is because they can make more money coaching wholesaling than they can actually do flipping. And unfortunately, it's true. As long as you guys keep paying them, that is going to be a fact. So I'm trying to stop that. So let's move on to phase two. It's the wholesale talkers. And honestly, this is where most people get flat stuck. You know what I'm thinking? It is human nature for people to talk. So people talk and then people do things. I'm in the camp of, I only focus on what you do. I could care less what you can say what you want, but eventually you have to back it up. And honestly, that's what wholesaling always comes down to. So if we bounce around on the wholesale talker stage, here's what they all have in common. Now, there's good parts in this. They blindly attack FSBO. I love that about it. That's not a bad thing. I love it because you have to be somewhat reckless and you got to call like 1,000 people because you don't know how to talk to them. So what better way than to learn with getting free leads and getting your teeth kicked in? But most people like, oh God, that was really tough. And then they're going to ask questions like, hey, Rick, how many, and that's where how many cold calls do I need to make? How many pieces of mail do I need to send out? How many letters do I have to send? How many doors do I have to knock in? You have the answer to it. I don't. You see, you're asking the wrong question. And this is how I know if someone's in the wholesale talker stage. Most of the people just ramble, and go on. Now, here's another key. Their ego is still in control. Now, what did I tell you about your ego? If you cannot drop your ego in wholesaling, you won't make it. If you always want to be right, I guarantee you will not make it in wholesaling. It's just a fact of this business. Guys, I've been doing this 20 plus years, and I'm telling you, the sooner you can lose your ego, amazing things can happen in your life. And not just wholesaling, all facets of your life. But I will tell you, you give me a wholesaler with a big ego, I guarantee he's broke. He or she. I'm not saying just guys, there's plenty of girls that do it too. So the ego is still in control. They seek advice from anyone. And here's the difference is they're not seeking advice, they're seeking permission. And if you are seeking advice or permission from people that have never walked the walk, you're a dead man walking. So unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way. That's how I do it. Unfortunately, sometimes is I do not take advice from people that I do not want to strive to be in their shoes. And I don't take their word for it on the internet. And I just don't assume what they say is true. I check stuff out. Why? Because people talk. People talk a lot more. And that's what we're talking about, the whole wholesaler talking stage. Talk. Little sacrifice is made, meaning at this stage, they don't understand how big of a sacrifice it will take to be successful in wholesaling. They think they can run, make a couple quick $100,000 and look like a superstar in front of their family and friends. That's not reality. And that's what's going to lead to a lot of your problems. And it just drives me nuts. And then this is where we come into. So a lot of people are broke. So they're looking for free training at this point. And you know, I love free training. I love anyone who will help out. And there's a lot of good training out there. Not nearly as good as what me and Zach have in for wholesaling. But here's the reality. The word free in the sales funnel business of information is used as a weapon against you. And me and Zach are doing the exact opposite of what is going on in the industry. Why? Because it's going to change. You guys are going to wise up and stop paying these stupid wholesaling coaching fees because you don't need to. It's ridiculous. The information's all at your fingertips. You just need a trusted source to get it from. Hello? So when you seek free training, you get some info, but you usually wind up in what we call a dead end. Why? Hey, Rick, I'm glad you loved our cold call scripts. If you want to go to the next phase and figure out how to do it, you need to call us. And I call, and the next thing I know, it's like $8-9 to move on with their program. And I've just wasted all my time because they held out the best information from me. And now I'm nothing more than a marketer and a sales funnel. And I don't know about you guys, but if you think that's a way to do business going forward in 2023, you've got to be kidding me. This is the tactic you all are being brainwashed on. And I'm here to tell you, it happens in every industry. It is the worst in the wholesaling business. So at this point, you have a decision. You can either give up, which a lot of people do at this point. They're like, it's like crazy. Or let's go back, going back to our chart here. So at this point, a wholesale talker might make between 10 and 50K if they're lucky. Why? Because they might call one of those FSBOs and get a deal, which is great. I'm all for it, but it's usually like a 1 or 2 hit wonder and they're never going to get consistency doing it. And that's the problem. Now, remember what I said. You're looking for free information because you're trying to figure this out. You are looking for clarity in what you're doing. And it is natural to find someone that has walked the path to get clarity from them. The question is, are you going to get the truth or are you going to get some sort of sales pitch? And you have to make that decision. How do you make that decision? It's going to lead us to our next phase. You ready? You're going to look for the guru cure. And this is the biggest trap in wholesaling real estate, in my opinion. It's because you're frustrated, you're tired, you're hitting dead ends with free information. Sorry about the scroll, guys. And now Guru is going to make some crazy offer. No way to back it up. And number 2, you don't know what question to ask. So if you go to a pep rally at like a flipping house seminar, this is great. I stay on the beach. Checks just roll in. It's passive. It's perfect. Guys, sign up in the back now. I'll do a 2-for-1. It's $5,000 if you act right now. I can only take the first 20 people. Guys, seats are limited. You get so tired of this crap. Like I've seen it hundreds of times and it just gets taxing. It's wearing. And the problem is you're all excited. Oh my God, I just got it done. Now you paid a big price tag. It doesn't matter if you paid $1,000 or $10,000. It's a random number. And the cost of coaching, coaching, mentoring for wholesaling has gone down over the last 20 years. And you know, everything else has gone up in price. So it's like, what the heck's going on here? So you fell for it. It's like you came up with this and you think all your problems are solved, right? I just paid this guy $8-10 grand. He or she's going to take me to the promised land. And then guess what? You get all excited. You get on the Zoom. There's 80 other people on the Zoom and you only got a 45-minute window, but you're getting one-on-one, baby. You didn't ask. What does one-on-one mean? Is the person that pitched me the course teaching it? Is it one of his better students, his or her better students? And all of a sudden, all these questions are coming across your head. And now you feel like, oh my God, what did I do? And then they tell you, hey, you're going to have to do this, and this, and it's not going to be super easy. And then my favorite part is they tell you, you have to have what you call a marketing budget or you're going to fail. Now, a lot of you got into it saying, if you don't get skin in the game and you don't know how to do this, you're never going to figure it out. I've already proven that wrong thousands and thousands of times over. So you guys pay, you expect the guru to do the work. They're not going to do the work for you. And you know what? If their program's bad, no matter how much good work you do, you're probably not going to make it either. And lo and behold, this is not my number. These are gurus. Other gurus within the last year have gone on the internet and said this. It has a 90 to 95% failure rate. And here's the part that should piss you off. They're blaming you guys for the failure rate. It's not. It's an unrealistic marketing message. Wholesaling is not for everyone. I'm sorry. It's just not. Some people just are not cut out for it. And you want to find that out sooner than later. So if that's the case, now you're really now you're getting borderline depressed. Like, okay, I was looking for clarity. I came across this gurus. I evaluated 3 of them. I thought it was the best person. I didn't ask good quality questions. I played a huge price tag. And here I am 3-4 months. I'm not even close to getting a deal. And now they're blocking me or they're not letting me in. It's just a waste of time. And a lot of these people have evergreen and lifetime. It's a bunch of crap, guys, because they sell all these companies based on revenue. So this, my friend, is where the magic happens in wholesaling. If you can find a way to skip through this minefield of gurus and get to the fun stage. And this is where most of you wind up if you apply what you learned from me and Zach at Free Wholesaling. You wind up being a wholesale warrior. That means, man, you got special skills. A lot of you have already gone through the guru and go, listen, I don't have a choice. Now I have to make it work because now I'm already 10K in the hole and I'm going to listen to what Zach and Rick does. And not only they're going to teach me how to do it for free, they're going to show me how to do it on a limited to no budget. Nobody else will do this for you. They're all tricks. Everyone manipulates the free game. Let me get them in. Let me suck them in. Guys, stop sucking in for this crap. Free has a limitation to a point. All I'm trying to do is teach you to get you your first deal and get you to your first 100K. That's it. I don't think it's hard. You know what the reality is? Most people won't take the steps to do it. So why should I charge every one of you 5 and 10K to do it? It's a joke. Why don't I just find the 5 to 10% of the people want to knock out of the park and find a way to do business with them for life? That's what me and Zach are on a journey for. So we jumped to Wholesale Warrior. And this, my friends, is probably one of my favorite stages. It'll make you fall in love with wholesaling all over again. And here's how it works, okay? I'll spell it. I'm a slow speller, guys. Wholesale Warriors. And if you have questions among the stages, go ahead and put them in the comments. I have no problem answering it as I go because I'm going to jump in with you guys on the live. So on the Wholesale Warrior, this type of person, I'm telling you right now, they have now converted willpower to discipline, meaning they do stuff regardless of what the outlying conditions are. So if they've committed to make 300 cold calls today on whatever day it is, say it's Thursday, they make them. They don't care if they got a sniffle. They don't care if the dog needs to go to the vet. They just get it done. I call them to the GSDs. And you know what that stands for? It's getting done. This is what people do, because here's what they've done. Stop making excuses and then they just execute. The number one problem I have with most people, I help on the live, and I love you guys all to death. I'll help you out. But like, you go on a live, and if you got 5 minutes to talk to me or Zach and you spend 3 minutes complaining, you don't get the concept of how business works. You can complain all day long. Complaining is just an excuse. You have to look for solutions, and you go, okay, here's the problem I have. How can I pivot around? This is what I think I can do. Do you have any advice to move me forward? Okay. And you're looking for endorsements from people who have walked the path you have. You guys go on the internet and you put it like, what do you think about direct mail? And someone goes, oh, it's a waste of money. Give me a break. Guys, you cannot take advice like that. It will kill you in this business. So the best thing I find out is they stop making excuses and they really become what I call marketing ninja, meaning they have mastered marketing. They understand it. They've mastered lists. They've spent hundreds of hours getting lists, and they understand they are still in the quantity game, and that quantity game's going to give them the experience edge. They also get rid of the shiny object syndrome. They understand, like a lot of people like, oh, AI. Guys, you need to learn AI. You need to understand how it's going to relate to wholesaling in your regular life, but please don't change your entire business based on AI right now. You're still going to need that human connection on it. And there's so many people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Guys, everyone's a rookie in AI. And if you sign up for something now, it's going to be completely different by the end of the year. So get rid of the shiny object syndrome. You get the discipline. So let's go back to this. This is where, honestly, if you can get to this point and you just stayed here, you would do great. So most people in this are 500K net earners. Notice I said the word net. I don't give a crap what people's total sales are. It's what you take home to your family. A lot of people, I did $2 million in gross profit. Okay, well, how much did you keep? That's all I care about. So think about this. If you could make 600K as an individual operator, and really at this point, you're still doing most of the stuff yourself. You have maybe a VA or two, and you might have a partner, or you're considering a partner. Make sure that partner helped you got where you are. Don't bring them in after the fact, because that's a deal. And on average, you are probably doing 3 to 5 deals a month. Guys, it is a sweet spot to be in. Now, here's the problem. I got stuck in this spot for 7 years. Like, no kid you. I got stuck here. Why? Because I was making a 75 to 100 grand in my corporate job, and I was a full W-2 wage earner. And then I got to this. It was like mind blowing. It was like, oh my God, I got so much money. It led to a lot of other problems. I had to figure out how to keep it. I had to figure out how to manage it and do all that stuff. And when you do it all yourself, it's a bit of a challenge. So now we move on. And by the way, some people are happy being wholesale. Some people are really happy at this level. There's nothing wrong with being at this level. I love it. And if you love it, then stay there. I don't care. There's one more level after there. That's the $1 million wholesaler. Okay. And let's go over what a $1 million wholesaler does. It's going to do everything the Wholesale Warrior does, which is this right here. And here's the distinct difference on it. You ready? $1 million wholesaler. They no longer meet with sellers and buyers unless needed. You're going to have to learn how to lead people. And I got to be honest with you, this is probably the most challenging part, because you got to hire and fire people. And if you're a nice guy like me, it's difficult. I have people who do this for me because I'm intense. And that's a bit of it. Like, a lot of people can't handle the intensity when we do it. So they definitely have acquisitions managers. They could just have one. It's not the end of the world. They have a dispo person or team. And I'm going to be honest with you. They typically run small, lean teams. And for the most part, they're virtual. I know what you guys are saying. Listen, I get it. An office can be easier for some people. I never want to be confined to an office. I did it for 4 years. I hated every minute of it. You can easily do $1 million without an office. Why do you need the overhead? And it's not even the money. It's you have to babysit people, and you can never move your operations because you got to move it. And the hardest part you're going to do is the leading. And then you've got to find quality people to help, because you can go on Indeed and hire whoever you want. All they want is the paycheck. Ask me how I know. It's a real challenge on this. Now, here's the cool part. At this level, which is what I do, okay, I run a team 4.5 employees, and that half employee is the MBA team. It's 2, but they're put in there. So it's me, Zach, 2 other people's acquisitions, dispositions. That's it. So here's the profit center. So you can go from 1 million to 1.8 million net. Guys, stop falling for people's, I did $4 million in wholesale. Okay, trust me. If you have an office and crap like that, you've got expenses. I'm telling you, my sweet spot for wholesaling, this is my opinion, okay? And it might not ring with you, might resonate with you. I've been through this in 20 years, and you've got to understand, to go from here to there, this is the sweet point right here. This is the garbage phase, and this is the crap you got to get through to get to that. And that's the challenge. And we lose most of the people right here at the guru phase. They just jump ship. And you see why. When you see it in a graphical representation, you understand the crap people have to go through. And by the way, that guru thing is, it's most of the people just trying to strip you of your money because you're so vulnerable. You don't know how to ask quality questions. You don't know who actually does this for real. And you think they're going to cure all your blues. And I know you're going to seek clarity. That's why they're there, to take advantage of you. And I watch them come and go, guys. 20 years. I could count thousands of gurus who've been in this business. There's less than probably 20 that have ever stuck around. And I do give those people credit. But remember, their main focus is their business. That's not wholesaling at all. Now, I will tell you this. If you get to that top floor, you're going to get teased with an additional level. I call it the kind of the unicorn phase. They're going to tell you can do 10 to 20 million gross. And guys, I'm here to tell you, I've been doing this a long time. On my hand, I can count on one hand. My left hand is the only people I can count that done $10 million or higher. And that's not even net, dude. And like, everybody talks, but like, if somebody wants to argue it, give me a tax return, because you can say whatever you want. You can give me whatever sheet you want. The reality is, I've seen some 10 to 12. I saw 114, but the staff was so big. And keep in mind, they have an office, they have major overhead, they got employees, they're going to work 5-6 days a week. They're so overwhelmed. They have to go back to taking vacations, getting downtime, getting me time. It sounds like a corporate job to me. And they're on the hook for everything. And if there's one condition, like a pandemic or anything like that, it is a catastrophe. So I'm not a big fan of it. I tried it, and I'm just telling you, it's like a unicorn chasing this perfect elite stage where you're going to do 20 million. Think about this. If it was so productive, why wouldn't billion-dollar corporations just take over the wholesaling industry? Why? It's very localized, and it's, in my opinion, it is very hard to scale nationally. Look at Open Door. They had to deploy over $1 billion. Still, they are losing money. So most of us don't have a $500 million war chest to back it up, pay all these people. And the reality is, if you want to deploy $500 million in capital, there's a heck of a lot easier ways to do it with single family houses. You can't buy enough to make the numbers work, and they're all spread out. Why not just buy a big warehouse or a big commercial building or a highly productive business? Single family houses on a wide scale for a huge $100 million business, it's just nobody's yet cracked the code. And I've been doing this 21 years. No one showed me yet. Now, people will tell you 10 to 20 million. How much do you want to drive yourself crazy? Honestly, if you want to do the 10 to 20 million, you're better off opening a brokerage and getting a couple hundred agents. I wouldn't do it, but I've tried it. It's hard. And I give credit. I'm sure there's people who can do it, but like, why sit there and train for less than the 1% of people who do it? You will have to give up so much to exceed that 10 to 20 million dollar mark. I don't know if it's worth it. I got into wholesaling for freedom of my time and financial freedom. If you're chasing an unlimited revenue stream, there are actually better businesses, in my opinion, but there's no better business to gain wealth with no money and very minimal risk. Wholesaling is the big thing, but it does have some sort of limitation to it. I'm going to do 100. Someone said the other day they're going to do 100 million. I'm like, I would put all the money in the world that they can't. It doesn't. You're better off just buying a commercial building, like a big giant apartment complex, $230 million. So guys, this is it. Let me remove this off of here. These are the journeys. So if what I'd like to do, if you guys want to let me know, even in the comment section, like what section of wholesaling you're on, and the more honest you are where you are right now, then you can figure out your journey to get there. Because if you don't know where you are, then you're like, oh crap. Because a lot of you guys, if you had this chart up front, I'm sorry for drawing all over it, but that honeymooners, and then you get to the wholesale talkers, like, man, a lot of people talk. I'm like, God, there's so much chatter on the internet. And then all of a sudden you just get pounded with every guru ad in the world. And every one of them do the same thing. You promise the world, and if you don't do my course, you'll never figure this out. And then you don't know the questions and you get stuck. And this is where we lose most of the people in wholesaling. So we're here to make a change. If you want to figure out how to do this, do me a favor, just go over to freewholesaling.com. Me and Zach have a free course there for you. Not only will it teach you to get you your first deal, teach you how to get you your first 100K. And our goal is to get you through these land mines of gurus and show you the work. Because no matter what, because I don't charge you, I don't go with it. Well, they didn't put put skin in the game. The reality is you're going to have to do the work no matter what. If you do it for free or hire someone. So if you understand you've got to get the work, then just skip the crap in between. Because a lot of you pay 10 grand and go, man, if I just kept that 10 grand, I could have used it towards marketing or like working on myself. But a guru told you if you didn't invest in yourself, you're never going to make it. Guys, me and Zach have over 3,000 testimonials. I've never asked for a testimonial. They just come organically and naturally. Why? Because everybody's sick of the same crap that's going on. So I want to prevent it. So let me know what stage you are on it. You got 1, 2, 3, you got 5 stages here. And most of you aren't at top stage 5. Most of you are between honeymooner and wholesale talkers. And some of you have gotten through the guru minefield. Some of you have been scarred terribly. And I apologize if somebody hurt you and they're going to blame you that you didn't take an action. But how can you take action on really bad information? It just drives me freaking nuts.